Baby shark. Here he comes. Whips it. Nice flick into the first corner. Goes incredibly sideways. Keeps the angle of the dangle absolutely maximum, but batters a couple of cones out of the way. Good control here. From the end of the box to the end of the box. Clip zone 4. Now it is Anson the Traveller. Car number 98, tied for third place with Show and Chew, his teammate we just saw in the GP. This is a fresh build, E92. I've seen it once before on this APDCrew Circuit, but it had some teething problems. Anson back again, let's see what he does here. From end to end on that fourth outer clip, feathering that throttle. Is he going to be able to grab 1 million points in this qualification run? Let's see what happens. Lots of power here, handbrakes in, smokes the tyres, taps 2 cones, left inside clip, back on the gas. On the line all the way through our third zone, end to end on our fourth and final, and rides that dotted line all the way out to the wall. In qualification run just now, having issues with this car. He's going to whip it into shape and make it do his bidding. On the gas, pushing it as hard as he can. On the limiter he goes. Good placement. Massive angle opened up on that transition. End to end, keeping the line from our fourth. Here they come, Minvan Quiet in the lead. Opens up. Fusing getting closer and closer. Nuzzling up almost on the inside of the door. Good control from both drivers. As another cone goes flying off the track, but Minvan loses a wheel. 98, the Traveller leading the way, car number 187 along Fazreen to chase. Look at the proximity of along Fazreen on Anson. Let's see what happens when they switch at the same time. Along Fazreen looking to dip on the inside and get even closer still. There we go, very tight there from Along, but Along takes the inside line. Anson goes outside, hits that climb. Along Fazreen darts back in again, onto the door. Looks like there's a bit of contact. Now we have Guoifu Singh to lead the way. Team FRT, our current number 1 in the GP standings for 2025. And Bullseye, 1-1-1 to chase. Long handbrake entry from Guoifu Singh. Bullseye sticking there with him. Transitions faster, dips in on the inside. Chasing right there on the door of Guoifu Singh. Hounding him down on the inside line. Let's look at this switch. Nice transition. Gets back to proximity soon enough as they go around our last set. Here they come, our boy in lead position. Big switch. Oh, opens up angle and Ahoy gathers and almost touches the back of our boy's RX-7. But now Ahoy on the throttle, gaining proximity on the inside line, switches, gets very close and up on the front wheel almost of our boy. That's tight, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to send. Minvan's ready, Lehman Hunt's ready, and away they go. V8 versus JZ. Big angle opening up there from Minvan, but jumping on it is Lehman Han. Very close, incredibly good proximity there as they dip around the bottom of Sector 2. Now moving through Sector 3, smooth and consistent. Nice switch at the same time together. Lee Man-hon harasses Minburn around the last corner, deciding to dive in. Fish Lee to chase our boy in the RX-7. Rotary power, going to be hounded down by that JZ and Fish Lee. Look at that launching forward, but Fish Lee gets right up to the door. On that inside line, switches, super close, but causes himself some problems. Got a little bit too close, made some angle corrections, but our boy here streaming away, taking a beautiful line. Fishley flicking away aggressively. He knows he's caused some problems for himself. But our boy very happy with that run. Who's going to proceed? Whoever does proceed is very likely to take top spot in our overall standings for the GP. Look at this switch here. Lee Man-hon in lead, great angle, maybe too much angle, or is it just enough to put off along Fazreen? Let's see what happens as they come around the corner here. Nice and tight, good proximity from along as he pokes forward and almost touches Lee Man-hon over the line. And we have along Fazreen in the lead. This is the final battle of our GP series. Wow, look at the speed of along Fazreen as he rips it out into that first corner. But Bullseye right there in the smoke, cutting down the corner in order to gain proximity. Is he able to keep it shallow enough to get onto along Fazreen's rear? Look at the switch. Oh, he switches very nicely just to the back end. He's on that rear right. Great job, nice lead run, a fantastic chase. Track is green. Bullseye's ready, along is ready. Here they come. Bullseye streaming ahead. Opens up good angle along Fazreen. Rolls up to his rear door. Nice switch along Fazreen right there on the rear wheel of Bullseye. Now getting left in the lurch a little bit, but pulling back proximity around our third outer zone. Fourth and final, Bullseye goes end to end on that clip. But look at that, along Fazreen right there on the rear wheel. Track is green. Our boy to lead the way as he drifts around in first place. Bullseye to chase. Our boy struggling for grip, I think. A lot of power, but no grip, causing an almost unchaseable lead. Our boy now whipping his RX-7 to the limit, but spins right at the end. Our judges are incredibly ready. Drivers are as well. Here they come. Ahoy in the lead, splitting a big gap between our two drivers, but Anton clawing it back on the limit is Anton who tries to chase Ahoy. Ahoy pushes to the outside, but Anton right there on the rear wheel of Ahoy. Look at the switch, very tight. Ahoy gets that outer clip, but Anton unshakable. Out into the lead. And Amral Taufek to chase him. Let's see what happens here as they push the pace into our first corner. Amral on that shallow line, gaining proximity, dipping in the rear end of Fishley. Amral Taufek out of the front wheel of Fishley. Right there with him. Let's see this transition. It's clean. Amral Taufek making himself known. He's like virtually in. All right, now it is time for Bullseye to take the lead. 111 to roll out in front. Car number 7, Show and Chew to chase. Roaring down that straight as they rip into that first outer zone. Lots of angle opened up by Bullseye. Sherwin plays horse and keeps there with him. Up on that rear wheel is Show and Chew. Bullseye doing his best to pull away. Let's look at this transition. Corner to corner goes Bullseye on sector 4's outer clip, but showing unshakable over the line he goes. Admiral Taufek, good to go. And Santan, good to go. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, your final of Drift Kings 2025 Asia Cup. Admiral Taufek out in the lead, swims through and into that first outer clip, just darting past that inner clip. And let's see, look at the proximity that Anson Tan is able to get here as they switch. Anson just sticking to Admiral Taufek like super glue right there on the door. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Here they come, pushing down the line. Big entry open up. Admiral trying to keep proximity and keep it nice and tight. Oh, right there on the rear wheel is Admiral. I think he's on the front wheel, getting maybe a bit too close, almost contact, I think. Look at this, Anson Tan right there, taking a nice lead line, but Admiral Taufek still